This is the House of Hockey podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network. Hockey is more than a game, it's a lifestyle. It's you, the diehard supportive fans, your favorite players who are on the team you cheer for, and the organization who supports them.
The companies that make your gear, bags, and beer league sweaters. The hockey moms and hockey dads, and everything else that makes this House of Hockey your home. Come on in. I'm Breezy.
And I'm Rae Rae.
And this is our house. Welcome to the House of Hockey podcast, episode 107. I'm one of your hosts, Breezy.
And I'm your other host, Rae Rae. And no guests this week.
Nope.
But we have two coming up in the next two episodes, some really big time heavy hitters in the NHL that are not on the ice, but in the front office sort of arena, to bring you some really interesting content from one team we haven't heard from yet, on the pod, and one we actually heard from that other team.
Yes,
that's based in Los Angeles. Oh yeah, duh. Hello, yeah. Twice. So we got that coming up. So in the meantime, there's been some hockey news things happening, starting with your boy,
none other,
just can't get enough of,
Roman record franchise breaking. How did Ryan Johansson say it? I don't know, but it was awesome. Roman Josi, that guy is an absolute legend. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna put it out there.
He's part of the 3 stars of the month with the first star. He has paced the NHL with 24 assists, 28 points, and a plus 14 rating in 14 games to help the Preds maintain the first wildcard position in the Western Conference as of Sunday, April 3rd. And only 2 defensemen in league history have recorded more points in a single calendar month than Josi. Bobby Orr and Paul Coffey, and Josi has become the first blue liner to outright lead the NHL in scoring during a month since Coffey in February of 1990.
And he's still very much on pace to hit 100 points in this season. He is just
insane.
He is just
for a
awesome.
Defenseman to hit 100 points.
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of great players in the league, but obviously I think Roman, on multiple reasons, deserves the Norris. He should get for the Hart as well. I know there's a lot of talk about that, but
does he have any of those?
He has a Norris. Yeah, he has a Norris. He won it last year, I think it was. Yeah, last year. But man, he's just going to continue to set the level. And I mean, he's the heart and soul of the Preds, and that the whole city just kind of wraps around that guy too. And he just is awesome. I can't say enough good things about him. Obviously I'm a little bit biased, but
and how excited are you that the Preds are holding this wild card position for playoffs? I didn't think that was going to happen at the beginning of the season.
No, I think if you go back to what we had predicted in the beginning of the season, I didn't even think that they were going to, even perform very well. And they've been kind of teeter-tottering between second and third and, for wild cards, or not wild card, but for a playoff spot. But they've got tough competition in the Central. So you got to figure they have the Avs, they have the Blues, they have,
Wild.
Yeah, so, for them to be going up against the Wild and Blues and teeter-tottering between those two teams, I'm pretty proud of them. I think they're doing a really good job. They've got a good group of guys. Tanner Jeannot, he's been crushing it, right? So I think between Roman and Tanner, they've been kind of carrying the team a bit. Hopefully I'm not speaking out of my terms here, but that's just my personal opinion, and I'm excited for him. I think they're going to play pretty well, and I just hope Roman can keep it up.
Yeah, I think hopefully he stays healthy enough and can bring this energy to a playoff run for the boys, along with all of the other people on the team, obviously.
And while we're talking about the Preds, I just want to put this out here. So they had posted a picture on social media of obviously Roman being first star of the month. And some bot commented, like, "Am I the most beautiful girl in the world?" And the Preds responded back to her saying, "Not now, it's Roman." It was so, and everyone's like, "You just commented back to a bot," but it was just so fun. It made me laugh. That was my funny that I had mentioned or I saw today. So
That's good. Well, let's talk about another record, but on a different team. Keith Yandle, who
ooh,
is currently playing with the Philadelphia Flyers, who are officially out of playoff contention run this season. It did not go as they had hoped. I had such high hopes for the Flyers this season at the start
I
with
think
all
we
of the
both did, if I remember
yeah.
correctly. But
They've had some injuries and some other things that just didn't play out like we all had hoped, I think, or well, not everybody, but some people don't want the Flyers to succeed, but good old fashioned NHL fan rivalry. But Yandle has ended his Ironman streak. Sadly, he ended his consecutive games played with 989 games. They healthy scratched him on this past Saturday, April 2nd, which is kind of like, let the guy get to 1,000. Are you kidding me? Like,
but he
he's
was,
so close. What I heard was that the coach wanted to let some of the newer draft guys come in and play since they were out of playoff contention. And that's why they put him out. I'm like, you are gonna let this guy not make 1,000? Like, your season's over anyway. Who cares? Let the guy break the record. Jesus. But Yandle handled it like a total pro as he is and was like, I respect the game and I get it. We got to let these guys come in and I'm happy to help out and be a team player. But like, really, coach, really? You're going to do this? At least let him get to 990. Like, you're going to leave him at 989. What is that? I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know how many games they have left to play, but I would imagine it's close to 11. I'm going to have to look, but like, let the guy get to 1,000. Come on. Do you like understand this record is unbelievable in this league to have somebody play 989 consecutive games? That's bananas.
yeah, I
So, I
remember.
mean,
So Andrew Cogliano was the last person, I believe, who had their Iron Man streak ended, but he was ended off of a kind of a bogus suspension that they had
oh,
had that like it shouldn't have been a suspension, but he got suspended. But I just looked it up. The after Keith Yandle, the next person in line is Phil Kessel. He has
yes.
968 games.
Yes.
So interesting.
Yeah. And then Yandle broke Doug Jarvis's record in January when he played his 965th. So we talked
Right.
about this, I think, before when that happened, but
Yeah.
the Ironman record comes to an end, and that's sad. That's like, come on, let the guy get to 1,000. That's just cool.
You
I
know what is
mean,
cool? The
what?
next person behind Phil Kessel will be Patrick Marleau.
Wow, I didn't
So
realize that.
it's currently active and he has 910 games. So
That's just like the rarity of that, and the stamina and the health and the luck and all of that comes into play for those guys to have that kind of a record is just unbelievable. So I
absolutely.
that's my thoughts. Do you think coach should have let him play?
Yeah, I mean, I did read that he was suffering from an illness. I think they said that a lot of the Flyers were having just like they were sick. They didn't,
Mm-hmm.
disclose what they were sick with, but just they were sick. He was battling from it. He didn't have, I think he didn't show up to a morning skate and a practice.
Okay.
So they were uncertain on if he would play or not. So it could have been just a healthy scratch because they weren't sure. I don't know. I feel like no one would be um, that like malicious enough to kind of like be like, oh well, sorry, dude, like you're not gonna get it. I feel like there had to have been a reason why. Um, but if there was no reason why, I mean, that's kind of a low blow.
I know. Anyway,
Oh,
that's how I feel about that. But that's the other major record sort of thing that I saw this week. And there's probably a ton more, but we're not stats girls, so get over it. But the other thing that I thought was insane this weekend and this week was Trevor Zegras scored his second lacrosse style goal
yeah.
in one season.
Yeah.
And this one was even more ridiculous because he actually had to go around Milano, his teammate who was standing next to the post, and toss it in. And the goalie is just like, you gotta be kidding me. This did not just happen, like he rebounded the shot, picked it up and scooped it in. And it was, I mean, I know a lot of people hate the lacrosse style goal. But I think it's just phenomenal. Just the kid's phenomenal with like the stuff and the skills he can bring to the table. But, you've also got to have all the other elements of your game in play, which I think he's still kind of finessing, but was pretty cool to see. Did you see the goal? It was ridiculous.
I did. I saw the highlight of it because I saw like a bunch of chatter, and I don't know if it was an April Fool's prank or whatnot, but there was like an interview that was going off. I didn't see all of it, so I probably shouldn't comment on it, but he was like kind of triggered because he got like hit, and he was dropping F-bombs saying that the goalie should be punished and yada, yada, yada. He called himself a superstar. But there was some Twitter chatter. I forgot who I saw, but I kind of agreed where you can't necessarily like old school, like Zegras would never fit in for old school hockey. Like let's just put that out there. I mean, everyone's going to know that, but the game is growing. You need a Zegras in the league for how the game is growing, right? But at the same time, you can't necessarily. I think the terms that were used were don't go out there and embarrass guys with these over the top ridiculous goals. That yes, they're awesome, they're a wow factor, but at the same time, it's like don't expect to do something that's crazy and overboard that doesn't happen often and not get some sort of retaliation. I don't know. I think they're cool to watch, but at some point it's like, oh, here he goes, he's gonna do it again, But I don't know. I mean, I think it's all fun and games, no hate towards it. It's just I think that there's a time and place, and obviously when you're playing a game, that's very hard to determine. But I don't know. I think it should be few and far between. I think you just need to have normal good hockey because I think that's what people like. But it's cool. I got to give it to him. It is cool, but I don't think I'd want that to happen on my goalie.
No, it would definitely be really annoying if it's not your teammate doing it. But I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of players that don't really get along maybe with Zegras's mindset or style of play. I don't know. I don't mean to like talk out of turn here, but I could imagine.
He looks, I mean, he just
you can't be mad at him, but
like, I don't know if there's a person who doesn't like Zegras based off of like his personality, right? But like,
I would venture to bet some people find him a little annoying and is like,
maybe like
dude,
an
this is not
brother.
Yeah. Like, this is not how we play hockey. I'm going to check you into the boards and knock your lights out. So get with the program because this is how we play hockey. Yeah. But I think it's we need a good balance of the Zegrases and like the Yandles and the Maroons, like we need this balance of people in the league because I wouldn't personally want to see the league go into like full Zegras style of play.
No,
I don't think that would be very fun.
It's like the Globetrotters, right? Like you can't, that's why they're called the Globetrotters because they can't play on an NBA team, right? They have to do these crazy tricks and whatnot, and people will go and see just the tricks.
Right.
But people could be showing up to Ducks games just to see, what Zegras has up his sleeves. I don't know. I mean, but you can't, to your point, you can't have a bunch of Zegrases going around because that's just I mean, as is, we have 50 point or 50 goal scorers in the league that have these insane shots from the blue line, and you're like, how did
Right.
that go in? Like, that to me is just as mind-blowing. And to see Austin Matthews do it, and then you have
Yes.
you have Drysdale doing it. You have all these
Mhm.
guys that are getting to that point. Not to mention, this season alone, you have seen 11 goal games by certain teams, 9 goal games. Like, if you look at the last 50 games, you're going to see it's like, it's never like a night, like it's 5-4, 6-2.
Mhm.
Like, it's crazy. And I think that's got to say something, right?
I agree. It does say something. And I do think that it's more, what's the word? Like it's a bigger accomplishment for somebody like Matthews to score 50 goals, like you're saying,
Yeah.
from like skill and precision based on the game that's actually being played,
Mm-hmm.
and not sneaking in with these like quote trick shots. I mean, it's a legal shot, with the
Right.
lacrosse style goal, but that's like a novelty, and that's not going to get you long-term success and records and Stanley Cup opportunities, so maybe, but I don't think
I
that's
will
enough to
say,
sustain it.
did you just give the Leafs a little kudos there to, be in the cup run?
No, no,
I think you
no.
might have.
No, nope, that's not what I was saying. I was saying that for Trevor Zegers to get into the Stanley Cup, he's gonna need
Oh,
more than that.
oh,
That was
okay.
the no, no. That it was hard enough for me to compliment Austin Matthews. So just let it live. Let it live.
Okay. I'm on to you.
Oh God, don't worry. I'm not converting to a Leafs fan, everybody. Don't worry. This week's episode of the House of Hockey podcast is brought to you by... The NHL season has been packed with dirty dangles, hat tricks, and big wins. As the action rolls on, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has your shot to win big too. New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's right, a bump in the win column for your team means free bets for you. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you still have a shot to light the lamp. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings daily fantasy hockey contests. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. That's THPN for the Hockey Podcast Network. Bet just $1 on any NHL team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. 21 and over, restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Have you seen this collaboration with the league and Nickelodeon
No.
in New Jersey, where they had like a Nickelodeon weekend where like the players were sliming who did the Jersey players slime? Oh, they had like 5 of the players with slime buckets, like the green slime from
Yeah.
Nickelodeon, and they slimed one of the broadcasters. They were sliming people. There was also a virtual slime booth at the Devils game where you could create like gifs of yourself getting slimed. They had characters dressed up like SpongeBob, Blue's Clues, Paw Patrol, Rugrats, to interact with fans and like sort of get that younger generation in, which I
Yeah.
think it's a pretty cool collaboration. And who doesn't love like slime and fun stuff? Like they projected like slime onto the ice in the opening ceremony. I don't know what you call it, but yeah. So I thought that was a pretty interesting collaboration to do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Gosh, they just don't make shows like they used to. And back with the Hey Arnold and, well,
God, have you
I was
even
on the
like
Rugrats.
have you even turned on Nickelodeon lately? Like I haven't even actually like put that channel on in 20 plus years.
No,
Like I
I think
couldn't
I
tell you
might have.
what's on there.
Like a few months ago, I think I saw like Hey Arnold was on, and I think I like put it on, but then I went on my phone. But I don't know that I loved Hey Arnold. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a good show. I grew
I
up
lo-
on the Rugrats, so
yeah.
yeah.
Double Dare,
Right.
um, like all of those kinds of shows I grew up with, like the original Nickelodeon days of
Yeah.
all of that stuff I loved.
How about the Amanda Bynes show? That one was
Yeah,
pretty funny. That one was good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, some good content back in the day. I don't know what it's like today. I mean, I know the kids love this Paw Patrol stuff. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in
Yeah.
the, I don't have anybody that's that age, but I
No,
see a
Rocket
lot of it.
Power.
What?
Rocket Power?
What's Rocket Power?
You don't know Rocket Power. Oh boy. You got to look it up after. They played
Okay.
street hockey. They played street hockey. They surfed. They BMX. They did all this stuff. No,
I'm a little older than you. I don't know.
I feel like you would know it if you saw it. Now I
Okay.
just feel weird.
All right. Well, I'll look it up. But
Anywho,
I think that's interesting to see what the league is doing. You know, we don't like hear a lot of press per se about these kinds of things unless you're in like the local arena and market, where of course you would hear all about the slime
right.
weekend and all of those kinds of things. So I think it's important to talk about it and just, you know, have a good healthy picture of what the league's doing. But
Right.
my highlight of the week was Zack Bogosian's son. If you haven't seen this video, it's phenomenal. His son is like maybe 5, and he brought the kids to the rink like where whatever day they could bring them, and his son wanted to fight his dad and tosses the
Oh,
gloves. His son is on the ice and he takes his glove off and he chucks it so far, and then he totally eats it because he's like lost his balance, and then he chucks his other glove, and then he's trying to get to his dad and he's got his fists up trying to like throw down with dad and fight him, and it is quite possibly the cutest thing I've ever seen. And only hockey fans would say that a little boy trying to fight his dad is the cutest thing they've seen. But
that's funny. Yeah, I remember seeing the video now where it was like, look how far he chucked the glove, and it was like,
yeah, yeah, like all the way across the ice, and like the dad's like showing him how to like grab his shirt and grab his jersey, and Zach lets his son like get a little bit of knucks in, and it's the cutest thing.
that's funny.
Zach was talking about, he was a reporter had asked him about it in a post-game conference, and she was like, I have to ask you about that because I watched it like 20 times.
Yeah,
And he was like, yeah, he loves hockey. He eats, sleeps, drinks hockey, wears his jersey everywhere, just obsessed with it.
yeah,
So it was super cute to see got a
that's
little fighter
funny.
coming up in the like, what?
That's
I just
awesome.
think that's so cute.
That is cool. Oh man,
But yeah,
that's it.
that's what I got this week. I was busy traveling and doing a million things. You were celebrating a birthday, and
Yeah,
that's what we got.
that's it. Nothing too crazy. I still think we're in the grind session for to see who's going to end up in those wild card spots. So just trying to watch games and keep track
Mm-hmm.
and put a little bad juju on certain teams to make sure that they don't win that night.
There
It's
you
probably
have
bad
it.
for me to do, but whatever. It's fine.
You changed your luck. You're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Thanks for coming over to our House of Hockey podcast and hanging out with us. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And in the meantime, you can follow us on social media. Just look for House of Hockey podcast. We'll be back next week.